Alright guys, so we have a Samsung stove here. Now, you can see the error code, the CF-2. So, it's a communication error. Basically, the user board, which is the one in the front, it's getting a signal, it's getting power from the board. Whenever you see that you're getting a signal, that usually means that the board is sending a signal, but it's not able to receive the input from the touchpad. So 99.9% of the time, it's going to be the touchpad that is not working. So when you touch the touchpad, it sends a tiny signal to activate the relays to do a function. So right now, depending on your situation, this particular customer, I removed the board. Upon opening the back of the stove, they had some critters. And a lot of times I don't like to work on stoves but they were dead. So, roaches, that is. So they were dead. But I had a feeling that once I remove the board and clean it, the unit would start to work. Now, here's another trick that you can do. When you have a touchpad that's not responding, you're able to use your hairdryer. Don't melt anything. Just keep a nice steady heat, not too hot. And just go back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes when the touchpads, when they get stuck, they will not able to respond. So you have a dead screen, basically. So try different things before. Of course, the first thing to do would be unplugging the unit or turning the breaker off for about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, really. And if plug it back in and nothing, then you would want to go ahead and replace the touchpad. That is the cheapest part. So if you're not totally sure, start at the cheapest and then work your way up. All right. So pretty much towards the end, I was able to get the board to communicate. So I'm only showing this video just because your situation might be a little different. So doing these steps might actually get you up and running. All of these units, they do operate differently, and a lot of times when one situation might work for somebody else, it doesn't work for another. The unit literally got hot, so I was able to get it up and running, but only for a short time. So I will be going back. At the time of this video, the customer was thinking about it, but he did mention that he wanted to get it fixed, so I might do a part 2 on this. So keep that in mind. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be removing the board and cleaning. So before you take these wires off, go ahead and take pictures so you have a good, just so you know where everything goes. Otherwise, you do not want to take a chance. Since you're doing this repair yourself, take your time and get it done properly. Don't lose your screws. Pay attention to where the screws go so that you don't make a mistake. If you need to use a Sharpie, go ahead and put a mark. Now that ribbon, you push forward and slowly pull, and that is a portion that you're going to be doing if you're replacing the touchpad. But for right now, we're going to clean this board. Yes, those were roaches. Yes, they were. So, and you can see them on the board as well. A few were on there. So, not a good situation. I don't get a lot of these calls, but sometimes you do. I'm already there. What are you going to do? You know, so they weren't live. If they were, I wouldn't touch the stove. So, it's what it is. I've saved a lot of boards just by cleaning them. WD-40 works great, just so you know. And what can happen sometimes when those critters, when they get between a contact point, it changes everything on how the board respond or react. So a lot of times those can even burn out the touchpad itself. So be mindful, keep a clean house. So that's the situation here. So we're going to clean it, and we're going to also remove the display in the front and make sure that there's nothing underneath. So pretty much from here on, you will see me cleaning, resetting, and eventually getting the stove to work. But like I said, it was not permanent. Some of the pads were not communicating. They did not want to listen, so to say. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for watching. I will also leave a link in the description for the touchpad. Chances are it's not your board. That is bad, because once you have power, that means the board is supplying the low voltage, millivolts, for the touchpad, but the touchpad is not sending a signal to activate. So that should be your first go-to, is a touchpad. It is also cheaper. All right, enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for watching. Almost forgot, guys. Make sure you use a toothbrush or a nylon stiff brush. Nothing too hard that can do any damage to the board. I also have a brass that I was able to use, but very lightly for anything that was kind of stubborn. I was able to use that slightly, but be super careful as you clean the board. All right, I could not allow you to hear the noise. Customer had music on. It's copyright, so everything had to be muted. It was pretty loud in that house. So, all right, hopefully this will help you in getting your stove going. All right, thanks for watching.